welcome to the tip of the week. So we're going to look today at doing drop-down lists. So you probably have encountered before, you give a spreadsheet to somebody, you ask them to fill in some details, or you maybe have a tracker or a dashboard, something along those lines, and everyone wants to put their own little take on what the data is that you're having them enter. So, they add extra spaces or put the wrong numbers in, things like that. Maybe they abbreviate stuff. Makes it really hard for you to later make any sense of that data, to use pivot tables, to summarize it. So this is a way to give them the options that you want them to select from, make it restricted to just how you want them to enter the data, and give yourself the flexibility that you could be able to update this later too. So we're going to use a couple of the techniques that we've seen in the previous lessons. So you remember tables. So this is a table that I set up, and the table's name is class info. So you have your classes, these are the class titles, you have the days, and then the cost. And so then on this sheet, we're going to have this pieces of data. So let's say we want people to actually fill in this data here. So we're going to ask them to enter the class, and then we have some formulas that will pull in the number of days and the cost. So we don't want them to just willy-nilly enter anything, because then our formulas aren't going to be able to look up those correct values. So I'm going to show you how to make these drop-down lists. So what we have to do is go to select all of the areas where we want the drop-down list to be populated. So using the Control Shift down, we're going to select everything except for the header. Then we're going to go to the data on the ribbon, and we are going to pick data validation. And then this little window will pop up, and it's going to say in the settings area, it's going to come up first. It's just going to say any value. So you're going to change this drop down to list. And in order to actually reference a table, you have to use the function called indirect. So it's going to say indirect, and then class info, that's the name of the table, and then you're going to put the in brackets class here, that's the column that you're referencing, then you have to put the whole thing in quotation marks, and then that will allow you to reference that table specific row whenever you're estimating. Okay, and let's just get rid of this total line, because it's just in the way right now. So we don't want to hard code a total line into our table. So now what you get is the ability to have these little drop downs. So get to pick a class, and then it populates the cost, the days, all that information using the VLOOKUP functions that we used before. And it doesn't allow them to enter anything else other than what you want them to enter. So it's really nice, because it restricts it to really what you want to have entered into these. And using a table gives you that flexibility so that it can be dynamic. So if we go back here and we say, oh, we actually added a new class, so new class, let's just say 7 days and $5. So new class is added, it's going to take 7 days, and it's really cheap, it only costs $5. So we don't have to go back and actually change anything, because you'll see, right, it's already available in our drop down, and it's good to go. So really quick, easy way, but it's going to save you a lot of heartache whenever you're giving something to somebody and you have to trust that they're going to fill it out correctly. Well, you can reduce those chances of them filling it out incorrectly by using these tools. And if you want to get really fancy, you can actually put little messages on in your data validation. You can have tell them how they're supposed to fill it out, and then when an error comes up, rather than just the thing coming up and saying that you're not allowed to do that, you can actually type in what you want it to say. So you can make it say you have to pick from this list, or something that's descriptive to them to help out, make useful error messages for your users. Right? So thanks for watching, and watch us again next week.